In this video, we're going to talk about what makes a home feel really cozy. I think cozy is a word that comes up a lot when people are trying to describe what they want to create in their home, and I think it means slightly different things to different people. So we're going to break down some of the synonyms to cozy and talk about how to bring them to life in your space. Some of the synonyms for cozy are easeful, restful, homey, warm, and comfortable. So we're going to start with warm. A big component of a cozy space is layered warm lighting. So staying away from cool toned light bulbs is really going to help create this feel. Cool tone light wakes us up and causes arousal of the nervous system, and that is not what we're looking for here. Like, think about the lighting in a garage or in like Walmart, let's say. Like, no one feels cozy in Walmart. Now think about the glow that pours from a Colorado cabin or the light that's given off from a fireplace. That is more what we're aiming for. And making sure you have a layered light plan fitted with warm light bulbs is what's going to help create this. So for a warm light bulb, you want to stick with light bulbs that are 4,000 kelvins or below. Also, I don't really think that overhead lighting is very cozy, unless you have them on dimmers. That would be the one exception, but I don't have dimmers in my space, and so what I do instead is I really go hard in layering my light plan. So I go for table lamps, floor lamps, sconces, and candles. That really gives you a lot of different options to create different ambiance for different situations. You don't have to have them all on at once. It just gives you options for lighting that's a little bit dimmer if you're watching a movie, or if you do need some more task light. I think having different options is really helpful. The next way to bring warmth into your space is through rugs. I think a room can look and feel really like cold and stark when you don't have a rug in there. I think they're really crucial when you're trying to create a space that feels cozy. Because, like, think about it. In the winter, hard surfaces, hard floors, whether it's, hardwood, tile, concrete, vinyl, it physically gets chilly. And so we're gonna bring in both literal and physical warmth with some rugs. Easeful was another one of the synonyms, and I think creating a space that has a sense of ease is something that doesn't get enough airtime in the conversation of interior design. It's like taking little things into consideration when you're planning your room. Like, does every chair have a surface to put your drink down or your snack down that's arm's length away so that you don't have to get up and like put it on the floor or on the coffee table if it's too far away, or making sure that you have enough throw pillows and throw blankets, like clean and accessible for when you host a movie night, or having a little carafe on your bedside table so you don't have to get up in the middle of the night for your cup of water. Cultivating a sense of ease comes from having a well-planned room layout that's ideal for the room's intended purpose, and being thoughtful about your needs in every single room is going to make you feel very pampered and very cozy. Restful is another word that came up, and I think this could be broken down in a couple different ways, like, is your furniture comfortable and something you want to take a nap on, but I'm going to use it as an opportunity to lecture you about decluttering and using closed storage. I do in most videos, and it's kind of becoming a theme, but I'm passionate about this, okay? It's important. For me, it's just really hard to unwind when I have eyesores and clutter all over the place. Like, there's no way I'm gonna feel present and restful at the end of the day when my work laptop is open on the coffee table or I got my tax papers on the kitchen counter. A tip that has helped me keep my home really well organized most of the time is this touch it once rule, which basically just means taking the time to bring an item to its proper location when you're done using it, which ideally should be behind closed doors, rather than putting it in a temporary convenient place just because it's easier at the time, where you'll end up having to move it again once you finally feel like cleaning. It's a great way to keep your home organized, and it really doesn't take that much effort. And when you adopt this clean as you go mentality, you free up that mental bandwidth to be able to relax and unwind at the end of the day. It's kind of just doing the annoying task now to benefit your future self to create a really restful and organized looking home. Let's talk about Homey. So I think some spaces that are designed to look super Instagram worthy lack that personal touch. Say you're trying really hard to curate every single one of your art pieces, which isn't a bad thing, but in the past, I didn't want to put up family photos, even though they brought great memories, because they didn't go perfectly with my design, which is kind of sad and silly, but I was committed to the cohesive look, okay? But I think there are ways to have memorable pieces that give that homey feel while also keeping the cohesive look. For example, I love my Grammy's house. She lives in New York, so I can't see her all the time, but there are just when I see her house, it just brings back so many good memories. And so I wanted to frame a photo of the front of her house, which is kind of funny, but it didn't go great with the rest of my design. And so what I came up with was, my brother's very talented, and I had him draw a sketch of the front of the home with the yard and the little garden, and he did it on some off-white paper, and I framed it in a brass frame. That's an example of kind of finding the compromise between having that homey look while also being cohesive. If you want to do something like this and you don't have a talented brother like I do, you can get any photo, whether it's like a pet or a family photo or a landscape that's meaningful to you. Put a sketch filter on it. There are plenty of places to find a sketch filter, and print it on some canvas paper, and then you can go over those lines with a black pen. It looks like a hand sketched custom piece of art that is neutral enough to go with any space. The older I get, and the further I move from my family and siblings are kind of dispersing and going to college and starting new jobs, I just want more pieces that are meaningful and make me feel like I'm a little bit closer to them, and the less I'm worried about everything looking new and matching. So I just want to encourage you to not be afraid to add these personal touches and tell you that there are ways to incorporate them and still have a cohesive home. Comfortable was a word that came up, and when you're someone who goes for aesthetics over functionality, like myself, and I do this in design and in fashion, and I've got a lot of uncomfortable furniture and stilettos to prove it. But so if this is you, you probably go for items that are built more for style rather than comfort. But there are a lot of options out there that meet both needs. So something for me that I've learned, I will never again buy a sofa with as low of a back as the one that I have right now. Like, the article sofa was really popular for a minute, but I've just learned that more low profile furniture that has more of that modern form is not that comfortable. It's okay for me because I'm short, but watching someone struggle to get out of my sofa really highlighted the importance of this for me, because I'm not the only one who uses my couch. So this is something I'm going to keep in mind as I look for new pieces. While we're on the topic of furniture, I think going for chairs that are cushioned and upholstered rather than wooden ones is another great way to bring in that comfort and that plushness. Wood can definitely be a very cozy looking material. Like, again, think about that Colorado cabin. But most spaces have the need for furniture that can be wood that isn't furniture that you're sitting on. Like, think about a coffee table, a TV console, a sideboard. So reserve woods for those furnishings and go for upholstered, softer items for sitting. I really don't think this is like a hard and fast rule. You can obviously bring some comfort to a wooden chair with some throw pillows, a throw blanket, sort of soften it up a little bit. So don't go switching everything out, but if you are in the market for some new furniture and you really are committed to creating a cozy looking space, I think opting for upholstered furniture is going to help you out. Another little tidbit on like visual comfort is, and this one might be obvious, but trying your best to combat starkness with a lot of textiles. So curtains, rugs like we talked about earlier, again, opting for cushioned furniture rather than wooden ones, bringing in as many textiles as possible, even more than what might be considered necessary, is really going to create a super cozy, super comfortable, soft, plush space that I think you're going to want to spend a lot of time in. That's it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, you can hit the like button, and if you want to see more content like this, you can hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video.